and he beat me until that comb broke. I said, please, my comb is gone. My comb is gone. My comb is gone. I didn't know the English of break. Praise the Lord. I'm thanking them today because what they did in our lives is what has made someone like me today. I want to especially thank late Dr. A.A. Adelodun. He was my mathematics lecturer at the Academic College of Education. He loved me dearly. When he saw that I made the decision in mathematics, I was later privileged to replicate his love. I remember and appreciate all our mathematics teachers and physics lecturers at the Academic College of Education. Some of us became engineers, surveyors, actuary scientists, educators, and some other occupied great positions in life. And by the grace of God, I became one of them. Our lecturers gave us the best of attention and commitment. Late Dr. Adelodun later transferred to College of Education in Ekiti as a mathematics lecturer. He was the one who invited me to submit my application for the lecturer's position at the College of Education in 1986 when he was head Department of Mathematics. He was very embarrassed that with my first class in mathematics, I couldn't have any appointment in higher institution. I was teaching secondary school. I became vice principal, even with my first class in mathematics. So he brought me in. This appointment, I said I was already vice principal. This appointment started my upward trajectory in higher education, scholarship, and administration. Late Dr. Adelodun remains indelible in my mind today. I thank all my co-lecturers and other staff who work together at the College of Education in Ekiti. This is an auspicious occasion to let them know that they are not forgotten by me at all. I want to thank all my mathematics lecturers in the University of Benin City. It may be enough for me to metaphorically I thank mathematics, because I build on the foundation of mathematics to develop further in statistics, in computer science, measurement, and evaluation. I hence remember my old lecturers and authorities in the field of educational evaluation. Late Professor E.A. Yoloye, late Professor J. Obomiata, late Professor S.T. Baja, and many others. I want to particularly appreciate Professor Wole Falayajo of blessed memory, my supervisor at the PhD level. He took interest in my PhD work and remained a father till his death at a ripe age. I acknowledge the favor received from God through Professor Peter Bodoring, the Vice Chancellor who appointed me as a lecturer in lecturer 1 in 1992 in the then Ondo State University at Ekiti. I became a senior lecturer under him. My dean then, who turned to be a great mentor and helper, was Professor Donatus Owamana. I got to understand him as officially very meticulous, but very kind at wanting people to make progress. If you like, confront him at meetings, seminars, or conferences. He will always take such as academic interaction without thinking about it beyond such meetings. I recognize the great contribution of all former deans of the Faculty of Education towards the progress of the faculty. Administrative ties may differ, but results speak in the present enviable state of the Faculty of Education. I mentioned them, Professor W. Ibukun, Professor M. Falonge, Professor I. Akinduchire, Professor A. A. Adegun, Professor Mrs. G. Akinleye, Professor Mrs. Bimbola Dulate of blessed memory, Professor Tito Olofintoye, Professor Ayodele J.O., Professor S.A. Jegede, and the incumbent dean, Professor Emi Ayeni. I salute all of you, including myself. The road to deanship in our faculty might have been very rough, very tough, but the lesson we must learn is that we are still brothers, sisters, and friends. Many of us are now leaving the stage, and those behind should please take it easy. I may not be able to list all staff of the Faculty of Education. I acknowledge your love, and I love you all too. I hereby acknowledge all professors in the faculty and all members of teaching and non-teaching staff for your love for me that you expect of doing this, my valedictory program. I note the tremendous effort put in the book of readings being prepared in my honor by my faculty. I thank all contributors and other well-wishers. The massive support from the entire teaching and non-teaching staff of Ekiti University baffles me. I never dreamt that I could be celebrated like this in Ekiti State University. I do Ekiti. I never dreamt that I could be studying at this in Ekiti University, Ekiti. The WhatsApp platform opened in my honor, and in this valedictory program, as I was informed, has group membership in hundreds. We stopped counting at when there was 650 on the platform. I don't know whether they have hit 1,000 now. I note with admiration and from the background all the commitments of all of you, both physically and financially. I thank you from the depth of my heart. I wish to acknowledge my very formidable faculty representative prayer team. While I was Vice Chancellor, they picked about 222 from each faculty, from gospel churches, and they were praying for me. Your vigils, prayer, and fasting, and waiting on God for me and for Ekiti State University were not in vain. I may not want to mention your names, but the God we are serving has noted the cup of water given to me. You will never miss the reward. Amen. I'm glad to acknowledge the former Vice Chancellor, acting Vice Chancellors, inclusive in our university, at the university, different metamorphoses. We are metamorphosing from OAU to Ondo State University. I thank all the Vice Chancellors at different stages. I recognize all the acting Vice Chancellors for standing in the gaps, without which there would have been halts in the chain of events in the university. You have done your best at lifting the university. You are hence part of the glory of the State University of today. I want to say that this our university is one of the best state universities in this nation, and therefore all our efforts had contributed to this one. I want to acknowledge with deep appreciation the management teams that worked with me throughout my periods of being privileged to be Vice Chancellor in 3 different universities in Ekiti State. I severally referred to these as my 3 missionary journeys in Ekiti State. Everything looks like a dream today when I look back. The University of Education in Kere Ekiti, Tunedik, University of Santa Technology, Ekiti, UST were very young, and hence there were no deputy vice chancellors before it was merged. We, however, had a cream of best principal officers any university would desire to have. I enjoyed working with all my 4 deputy vice chancellors as vice chancellor of Ekiti State University, because they were men and women of great pedigree and moral fibers. I thank all our beloved professors and other staff who consented to work with me as VC. We labored together to help the university, and it is evident that we tried our best. It will be formidable for me to mention all names of staff, teaching and non-teaching, who either worked with me or crossed my way. It's not so necessary for me to mention most of the things I do here. I think that by the grace of God, they will speak for themselves. If there is any offense or injury, directly or indirectly, please forgive and forget. Those probably being perceived as my enemies while in position were maybe my real friends in disguise. I've got to discover that the way God wired us to deal with issues differ. One may decide to toe the path of strong faith in the power of Christ to solve problems, while others may not see it like that. I'm happy to state that more than 90% of some of the staff that many people here will think are my enemies, that we have contacted each other, and that we have cordial relationships now. We meet today, and some of them are here. We are now friends, and I acknowledge that such people are contributory to the glory of today. It should be noted that I supervise many postgraduate students at both master's and PhD level. At least I supervise 13 PhD students. It is on record that at least 3 of them rose to become professors. I will never, because of any reason, stop doing good and helping people to the best of my ability, because God delights in such, and I'm a child of God. My inaugural lecture was titled "The Tripod: Test, Measurement, and Evaluation." That time I gave the 17th inaugural lecture. I deliberately seized the opportunity then to honor the Trinity: God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Therefore, the figure 3 is very important to me. The figure 3 is significant to those I wish to acknowledge now. First are my 3 Hebrew brethren. Time and tide may sound in different tunes, but I can never forget these 3 wonderful brothers. Though younger than me in age and in other areas, they were formidable and godly companions and destiny helpers. At that time, they related with me as their mentor and called me Daniel, while they were called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The cord that joins us together is too strong to be cut asunder too easily. The cord is Jesus. I will love them forever. The second, number 3, represents the 3 young faculty staff who identified me for the deanship position when I saw myself as unqualified. They put much pressure on me and my wife until we succumbed. Though the way became rough, because it was naturally hard to believe that I was not the one who masterminded the push. I'm thankful to them because they thought good, and there is no cause for regret because of the glory of this moment. The third 3 are women. I want to acknowledge the support in visits and wise counsel. When I was director of PTP, when the situation I was facing then called for help, they were my formidable counselors. I left the place to become a vice chancellor. They are worthy of my thanks. The last but not the least are other 3 women. Our cleaner, Iya Oyo, who just died recently, and 2 other sisters in the faculty, PhD holders, who turned themselves to cleaners each time they visited me in my personal office when I was returned there after I left as Vice Chancellor of Ekiti University. I will never forget their deeds. I want to thank my in-law, Mr. Femi Aribisala, and his wife, Olori Aribisala. I call her Olori. They are staff of EXU who believed in my integrity and stood by my family. We love you dearly. I stated earlier that I was limiting this acknowledgement to academic circle since I already covered other areas in my book. So, for all my deeper life pastors, leaders here that are here, you have been seriously acknowledged in my book. All pastors in Ekiti State are acknowledged. Just for mention here. Same other wonderful pastors from other and friends, both deeper life and from other assemblies. DLCF in Ekiti State and the Southwest. How many times did I call you? 3. Trinity will reward and reciprocate the humongous love you have for me. Amen. You are my family's formidable human shield. You believed in me as your pastor, brother, and friend. In thick and thin, you know me in and out. You are unmovable, unstoppable. We will get to heaven together. As triumphant saints in Jesus' name, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know I was really 3 there. I wish to humbly and sincerely appreciate the executive governor of Ekiti State, governors of Ekiti State, who at one time or the other were visitors to the 3 universities that I was the vice chancellor by divine providential calculations. His Excellency, who is here present today, Engineer Segun Oni, appointed me as vice chancellor of the University of Education in Ekiti without knowing me from Adam. And later, University of Science and Technology Ekiti. I acknowledge, sir, this uncommon stand for excellence of this our excellence, and it's still like that. His Excellency, Dr. Ayodele Fayose, also said before our interview for the State University that he, for the appointment of Vice Chancellor of Ekiti University, he will be committed to excellence. I want to mention that he traveled abroad, and that was until he came to tell, that was why he promised me to be here. That was why he was not able to be here. I came first in the interview, and he approved my appointments as recommended by council without any delay. I was able to work with these 2 governors, and they love me dearly. My efforts to work with His Excellency Dr. Kade Fayemi as visitor for quality time did not work out. He hence did not know me closely. I acknowledge that he meant well for me. I acknowledge my distinguished Professor Peter Okibukola for being my exemplary mentor. I acknowledge our friend, my own very good friend, Pastor Dr. Peter Olujide Ajayi Petua of Petua fame, and his wife for always being there for me. I acknowledge the friendliness of the current executive governor of Ekiti State and the great work he is doing. I wish to acknowledge the presence of my Kabiyesi, His Royal Majesty Bandele Olufemi Samedaramola Oyo Shagdaye Ijesha Ilufemi Loye Omole 1 Onijesha Ekiti is presented and is Olori. Mami Olori, you're welcome. I also sincerely want to appreciate all these our excellent royal fathers from Ileje-Meje. You will see they are here in their numbers. By the grace of God, I'm your son, and I continue to be your son. And I want to recognize other royal highnesses. I want to believe that Olusegun is here. I want to thank you very much, sir. You are welcome, sir. And all others. The person seated in the front, many of you can be to think is an Oba from Ekiti. That's my in-law. It's my in-law. I think the way you are seated, we will integrate you to be an Oba in Ekiti. That's the father to the wife of my son. Time is ripe for me to acknowledge Anchor University at your board, Lagos. Their love for me has led to their very great contributions, support, and sacrifices already put into making this valedictory program a big success. They are here in full force. I acknowledge the 3 representatives of council. Please, I want to seek for pardon because these are my employers. When I was first of all acknowledging, I forgot. I've said I will mention it now. I want to sincerely plead that the council of the university send representative. Please, my dear sister professor and our user rep, please, can you stand up for recognition, please? Yes, sir. So I acknowledge the 3 representatives. The 3rd one is the registrar representative, but he has been walking around for me, so I'm not sure he's out there. But he will recognize you. So our professor, Mrs. Bernice Adebengbe, a professor of medicine from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Also, Dr. Femi Yeye is the representative from Abuja, Far Abuja, and lecturer of Anchor University, Pastor Moses Salami. The deputy vice chancellor of my university is here. Some professors from the university are here, and a very large team of teaching and non-teaching staff of Anchor University are here today. I appreciate their love. I have an exemplary family. My wife is a woman to be praised. Stand up. Stand up. Is a woman to be praised. I know anybody who knows him will know what I'm saying. I was nothing when we met. I was NCE, struggling all about. She supported my university education with her mega salary then, as she would not want me to suffer. She stood tall by me and was the major contributor to all our achievements as a family since we met. Thank you, my dear wife, sister, friend, and mother. I acknowledge my the unique luck of my children. They were still happy. Where are you? Okay, they are here. Okay. The elderly one could not come. It's in Australia, so it was too far. These people, they are not too far, so they are here. I acknowledge the unique love they have for their father from coming from that far distance to see come for this particular unique occasion. They are contributors to my success in life and towards this retirement biology service. I thank my extended family members and acknowledge their great love for me. My immediate brother, Funsho, all my family members will stand up. Let them see you. All myself and Bandele, Bandele, Oya Toyin. Ade, I will ask you to come and kneel down here and stand up. That's the husband of my okay, God bless you. I think many of them are working at home, so I want to say I appreciate them. I acknowledge the love of my father in the Lord, the Chancellor of Anchor University, Pastor Dr. Williams Kumuyi. He's a unique man of no mean recognition for his blessings for this Valedictory Retirement Program at 70. I went to show him everything and he prayed for me. And that of our mommy Esther Kumuyi too. I acknowledge and cherish their fatherly and motherly affection and prayers. And from tomorrow, I will by God's grace be fully Anchor University Vice Chancellor and staff. I can never forget Ekiti University at Ekiti, who has molded and made me. The last but not the least, I want to acknowledge the masterminders, executors, and implementers of this university-wide retirement assembly valedictory program. I thought it would end with the book of readings being prepared in my faculty. We were initially thinking that as my family would just do something little at the Afẹ́ Babalola something. But they took it, they said, no. It's not possible. You are a vice chancellor here before, and you have your team here too. They took it over. I don't know how to thank them. I thought readings prepared by this, it is like a dream to me that I'm exiting the university gloriously like this is like a dream. And to say that there is nothing God cannot do. Professor I.A.O. Oluwaleye is the chairman of this great team. Professor Olujegede from OAU, my brother there, and the hub, a very young, excellent man, the hub of this team, coordinating the thing, data planning and coordination is engineer Dr. Samuel Oluwafemi from the Faculty of Engineering of this university. Then the Sunday Ajibade started in it. All this started in a little way, and also my own brother, the subdean of the faculty, the three of them were coordinating. So it was a small thing that is noble to take big thing like this. Anchor staff members are part of the planning committee. I thank them sincerely for posterity. Below, I'm not going to read them. Below are the implementation committee of this program. We have the central planning committee. We have subcommittee on finance and budget. We have mobilization committee, prayer committee, valedictory lecture committee, and so on and so forth. We have the Faculty of Education Book of Readings Committee 2. We have Commemorative Book of Honor, which I think will be unveiled here today, of honor. We have the Program and Tribute Committee, Publicity and Media Committee, Accommodation and Hotel Bookings Committee, Valedictory Praise Worship Committee, Welfare and Hospitality Committee. You see that this is the entire university committee. You see security, surveillance, and then general coordination. My wife, myself, my children, and my extended biological and spiritual family members, thank all of you for your contribution to the success of this program. You are please all invited to move with us now to the AB Foundation Civic Center for the valedictory reception of praise, worship, and songs. Thank you all.
You are great, you are holy one. Walk upon the sea, raise the hand. Rain down the sea, my God. Everything is great. You are great, yes, you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we give him another big round of applause? Many of us here present, especially academic staff, we all look forward to this kind of gathering. It is the last due a professor has to pay in the university system. And from what we have heard, he has not given us anything less. While he was giving his lecture, another university vice chancellor came in. He is one of us, and he's no other person than Professor Olufemi Victor Adeoluwa, Vice Chancellor, Bandele University of Education and Science. It is now time to invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Edward Olushola Olanipekun, ably represented by Professor Deji Ajayi, the Provost College of Medicine, to please come and comment on what this erudite scholar has said. Shall we welcome him with a big round of applause? Professor Dejajai.
Professor Laogun, the Vice Chancellor of Benite University. Okay. I think
Good afternoon, His Excellency, our amiable former governor of Ekiti State, Engineer Olusegun Adebayo Oni. Thank you for your coming. I want to thank the members on the high table, especially our professor, the Omolodun Oni. Congratulations. And to thank all that are here, the royal fathers. I bring words from the Vice Chancellor of Ekiti University, Professor Edward Olanipekun, who will have been here in person, but because of the ongoing convocation, he has asked me to come over to represent him. I must congratulate you, sir, for being able to deliver this valedictory lecture. Is one thing that we all look to. Once you are in academia, you are already programming your mind for the day you exit from the system. And I want to thank God Almighty for making this day a reality and for you to be alive. Many will not be able to do it due to one reason or the other. But for God to have spared your life, to be able to give this valedictory lecture today, God is indeed great and is good to you. I must say that I have known you for quite some time now. You are yet able to be born, but the Lord knows the end from the very beginning. All the travails that you pass through, they are just stepping stone onto greater heights, which the Lord has done in your life. And I want to say thank you for making this gracious day to be glorious. There are some qualities that we want to learn from you. Even while you are here as the Vice Chancellor, sir, you never commandeered anybody. You are a down-to-earth person, lovable, simple, straightforward, and forthright in everything you do. You do not allow your position to becloud you and jettison your friends that you grew up with in the village. I vividly remember one of such, that one day you went home and you saw one of your friends who did not go to school, but you saw his plight medically, and you called me to describe my place to you, which I did. And you brought the person down, and for about a year, you were paying his hospital bill. That is a thing that is worthy of emulation. And I want to thank you for that. And God will sincerely pay you tremendously for that. The Lord has seen you through. You passed through virtually all the levels of education available in your time. It's just to prepare you. And this is what we are saying, that education can only be education if we are really serious about it. The type of education we have these days is already polluted, is adulterated. Because in those days, before you enter secondary school, you are already matured. Before you get to university, you're already matured. Now we have children of 15, 14 trying to get admitted to university. What kind of maturity are we expecting from them? And parents are not even helping matters. They want to give their children jet education. But the judgment of it is that they pass through the system without being matured. And at the end of the day, that's why you see some people, when they even graduate, they find it difficult to even construct simple sentences, fraught with errors. Now, you have given us in your various lecture those things that we need to adhere to in order to have a befitting educational system. There's a need for us to imbibe on all those things that earlier listed for Nigeria to bounce back again in our educational policy. It is one thing to have a policy. It's another thing to follow it religiously. I remember when they started the 6334 system, the policy was good, but the implementation was faulty. The idea was that at GSS 3, we have to identify those who can university material and then technical material. But this said we all want to be graduates of anything. And so, thank you again for giving this valedictory lecture at this point in time. And the MC has given me the role to play again, that I should please introduce one of the guests on the high table, my friend, my bosom friend, Professor James Olaogun, the Vice Chancellor of Ekiti, Iloro. Please, you are welcome. On this note, I want to thank you for coming to witness the valedictory lecture of one of us. We are proud of him, and we wish him well. That what we are just seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. The Lord is still taking you to greater heights. Don't be deterred. Just remain focused. Remain yourself, and God will surprise you. Thank you, sir.
Shall we give him a very beautiful round of applause? That is a wonderful representative of the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor of Ekiti University. Once again, I want to apologize that I didn't mention your name. Did not mean that I underrate your presence, sir. The Lord bless you. In fact, he was the one who first gave me the proverb. I heard it from him from the first time that Kisha Gbadida, nothing Jefada. So I want him to look at it the same way. I didn't look at you as if you are supposed to come last. It is time for me to acknowledge the presence of so many of us here. And I want to beg you that I may not be able to do it absolutely because of time. And so I will want to welcome our royal fathers. The inaugural lecturer has done a wonderful thing, doing that of the Oba of the big city of the, because we dare not call that place any other name outside a city. Big city of Ijeshamodu. Yes, is number one on my list here. And I want to welcome His Royal Majesty, Oba Olufemi Samuel, and His Olori, Onijesha of Ijeshamodu Ekiti. Hallelujah. Secondly, I would like to recognize the presence of His Royal Majesty, Oba Olufemi Omiyale. He is the Onipere of Ipere Ekiti. Sorry. His Royal Majesty Oba BOA Ajayi Dielewu of Ewu Ekiti. His Royal Majesty Oba Julius Awolola, the Eleda of Eda Ekiti. I also welcome the traditional council and chairman of Ilejemeje. He is the traditional council chairman of Ilejemeje local government. I also want to recognize the presence of the state overseer of the Deeper Life, Pastor Amami Adebi. He is in charge of Kwara State. You are most welcome, sir. Pastor Laoguni Amami Oguni, State Overseer, Ekiti State. You are most welcome, sir. Pastor Folajala, State Overseer, Osun State. Pastor Akiluyi, Regional Overseer, Ikere Region. Pastor Obembe Amami Obembe, Regional Overseer, Oye Region. Pastor and Professor TK Akinwamide, Regional Overseer, Ido Region. Pastor Adeshusi, Regional Overseer, Aramoko Region. While I was welcoming the Vice Chancellor of Buesti, I saw in the crowd also the Senior Special Advisor for Tertiary Education in Ekiti State. He is one of us, and that is Dr. Aziz Hakim. Are you still there? Dr. Aziz Hakim. He has been here to grace this occasion. I also want to welcome my guests now, the professors here present that I've been able to cite. I'd like to, first of all, welcome Reverend and Mrs. Adeomojola, who traveled from US to come and grace this occasion. Reverend and Mrs. Adeomojola, you are most welcome. Professor and Mrs. Bumi Ajayi, one-time Deputy Vice Chancellor and the acting Vice Chancellor, Ekiti State University. Prof, you are most welcome, man. Okay, sure. Professor Oluwaleye, Chairman of this organizing committee, he is here. Former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Development, Professor J.A. Adegun. Okay, you are welcome, sir. Professor A.I. Ajayi, you are most welcome, sir. You are most welcome, sir. I.A. I.A. Professor Adebayo from Faculty of Social Science, you are welcome, sir. Professor Dairo from Faculty of Agric, you are most welcome, sir. Professor Mikwelu from Science, you are most welcome, sir. Professor Titi Olofintoye, you are welcome. Professor T.K. Akinwamide, Professor Falana, Professor Iye Olorunshola, Professor R.O. Famiwole, Professor M.S. Omiri, Professor G. Akileye, our former Dean, Faculty of Education, and Professor I.A. Ajayi also was our former Dean. Professor M. Borode, you are welcome. Professor Luadari, Professor F.O. Bada, Professor Akintayo, he is still coming up stage here. Professor Abdrahim, I don't know whether he has stepped out. Professor O.B. Ajayi Vincent, Professor Nijigi, Dr. Mrs. Jemilung, Dr. Mrs. Borode, Dr. Mrs. Esu Osho, E.B. Kolawole, Professor Mrs. Oye Adegun, Professor Mrs. Oloyede, Professor Afolabi Popola, Professor Olaogun once again, because he was and is still one of us by the grace of God. Vice Chancellor of Valedictory University, Professor Oti Owolabi, Dr. Fabumi is the university librarian. One other person that is here that I want to introduce to us for his love for our valedictory lecturer is Dr. Ayodele Ogunsan. Is a group for this. Professor S.O. Adebule, you are welcome, sir. He is the director of Institute of Education. Barrister and Mrs. Funsho Fasuan is the in-law to the inaugural lecturer. Pastor and Mrs. Fatoba, they are the regional overseer for Ikole region. Where are you, sir? You are welcome, sir. Professor CEO Akomolafe, you are Olushi of Fushi. You are most welcome, sir. For you, God bless you, sir. Professor Mrs. FM Oshalusi is one of the organizers too. God bless you. Yes, God bless you greatly. Now we move forward also, and we want to call the reviewer of the book that is written in honor of Professor Sam Oye Bandele, and the reviewer is no other person than Professor Akintayo. Professor Akintayo, you are most welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Engineer Segun Oni, the celebrant, and our mommy, our vice chancellors on the high table, the host dean, and other important dignitaries. I understand there are 3 books, but I'm here to just read the review of one under 5 to 6 minutes maximum. Then I will invite the dignitaries on the high table to unveil, and then we go on. From what Professor Sam Oye Bandele presented, you will know that he's a guru in digital education, computer education. And I think that is why there are many books in his honor. This particular one was put together by very many eminent academics, professors, who thought that it is very important, given the contribution of this erudite professor who is retiring today, that there should be a book to serve as a tribute to his significant contributions to mathematics and computer science education as a discipline. And the book also prepares the present generation of the evolving landscape of human capital development in this digital era. Each chapter of the book, and the book is titled Beyond the Chalkboard, Crafting Strategies for Human Capital Development in the Digital World. Each chapter of the book offers unique perspectives on how advancements in technology and other emerging trends in this digital era are reshaping the contours of human capital development. The book is a reservoir of knowledge that illuminates the path forward in preparing individuals in various fields for the challenges and opportunities of the digital age. The book consists of 18 chapters and a preface and a foreword written by Professor Peter Okebukola, former Executive Secretary, Nigeria Universities Commission. Chapter 1 introduces the general knowledge on artificial intelligence. You know, that is where the world is now. Everywhere, AI, and it is very important, like it's been advocated by the valedictory lecturer, that we have to unlearn and relearn many things. In fact, the standard of education is not falling. It is we who are presently anchoring education that need to match up and marry up our skills to what is presently available to deliver quality education. So AI is very important. AI is very important. And the chapter 1 of that book introduces general knowledge on artificial intelligence and AI models. And the author clearly espoused on how AI can be used to positively affect skills acquisition, training and retraining, education and lifelong learning. Chapter 2 by Olofinike Onyeka and Akanbi presented the different challenges and opportunities experienced at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels of education at adopting virtual learning in Nigerian schools. Chapter 3, Oluwafemi presents how the transformative journey propelled by technological integration into engineering education holds the promise of enhancing learning experience through virtual laboratories for practical learning, utilization of online collaborative platforms to foster teamwork in digital realm. Chapter 4 brings to life how digital and telecommunication technologies in the early 20th century have created unprecedented opportunities for the field of ophthalmology in medical science. Though AI is very applicable in medicine, it is not a replacement for human clinicians. The tool can enhance greatly the capabilities and decision-making of human clinicians in treating ophthalmic diseases like diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and cataract. In chapter 5, Adeyanju presents how linguistic resources of lexicosemantic, syntactic, phonology, discourse, and social linguistics are all relevant to human capital development in the dispensation, and how these resources must be deployed with peculiarities of each dispensation. Olaofe in chapter 6 discusses the nexus between technologies like AI, virtual reality, augmented reality, computer-based learning, and early childhood education. Olushola and Adedeji in chapter 7 presents the influence of chat-generative pre-trained transformer, popularly known as ChatGPT, in the academia. The chapter discusses in details how this AI tool has proven advantageous in generating ideas, in streamlining reviews, in facilitating collaborative writings, and so on and so forth. In chapter 8, Jegere and Bakare presents procedures, features, benefits, and challenges of online examinations as compared to face-to-face examinations. Chapter 9, Adebisi discusses strategies for human development in the digital world through science education. And chapter 10, John Ilori presents and reveals how technology breaks down barriers, provides access to resources, and fosters innovation, all of which are essential components of human capital development. In chapter 11, Aloide and Ben Akinduro presented how some private universities in Nigeria, despite challenges such as funding and perception, have been able to overcome initial setbacks and got themselves to the forefront of advanced human capital development through the use of ICT. INA in chapter 12 presents how technology can be leveraged upon to improve the accessibility, scalability, and quality of education and skills development. Chapter 13 by Ogoluwa Fatokun discusses the effectiveness of simulation-based teaching of biology as a subject. Chapter 14, Olaoye Foluke presents how digital revolution in urban waste governance holds immense promise for transforming the ways cities manage, mitigate, and minimizes municipal solid waste. In chapter 15, Osho and Oseni discusses how integration of 21st century skills into the present teaching and learning processes will go a long way to prepare the new generation for the field of work, as the skills are very vital requirements to entering the digital workforce. Chapter 16 by Olaoye Clement describes how artificial intelligence paves the way for a more agile, adaptive, and effective task ecosystem in the digital age by fostering innovation, efficiency, and intelligence-driven decision making. Chapter 17 by Sikaye and Olusanya discusses how organization development can be enhanced through AI-driven skills gap analysis. Finally, in chapter 18, Owueye, Ogunshola, and Idowu presents how technology has changed the dynamics of teaching and research in the development of economics. The chapter evaluates 2 channels that have improved the learning process in economics. You can see that the volume is very comprehensive. It's a comprehensive compendium of different strategies that have been introduced through digitization to improve learning ability and skills development of people that translates to human capital development across many disciplines. An application of ICT in reshaping the landscape of these disciplines are brought to fore, thereby helping to prepare individuals for the future challenges and opportunities that there are in their disciplines, especially in the nearest future. The book is recommended to students, academics, entrepreneurs, industrialists, regulators, policymakers in Nigeria and other developing countries. I believe this short review, you can at least realize how rich the book is and how important it is to help many of us that are seated here to transcend the emerging trends of artificial intelligence incursions in our different disciplines. I would therefore expect that we all get our copy or copies. Thank you for listening. Ekiti. So, having shown a brief of what the book contains, I now want to humbly invite His Excellency, Engineer Segun Oni, to please come to the front here, followed by the celebrant and his wife, our Vice Chancellors on the high table, led by our own City Vice Chancellor, represented by D.G. Ajayi. Yes, Vice Chancellor Buesti and Vice Chancellor Venite University. Please, let's come to the front.